check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Welcome back to the channel. I am Dom Lovely, and today we are discussing season, I don't even know what season it is right now, you guys, but we're on episode 2 of the Real Housewives of Potomac, the new season, the season that just started. Okay, so as the scene opens up, we see that the ladies are, they're still arguing. They're at Wendy's house at the dinner party. And Karen and Giselle continue their argument. They're shooting shots back and forth. What I will say about Karen and Giselle's relationship, when this series first started, it was kind of like light shade, just some back and forth jabbers, a little light shade. And then as the seasons went on, I said, okay, well, maybe they're just like frenemies. But at this point, they just outright have disdain and hate for each other. They do not like each other for a myriad of reasons. And I think throughout the years, just throwing each other under the bus and being shady and talking about marriages and husbands and how they perform in bed, it's just, it's a lot. And so this friendship is definitely in the dump. So the argument is still going on. And Karen says, to be honest, where it really turned is when Ray had a conversation with Giselle, and Ray told her, hey, you're a beautiful woman, but you need to be you need to go ahead and get into a relationship because beauty fades. And Giselle went on to say, Ray will be 6 feet under before her beauty fades. And of course, Karen took that as, okay, so now you're wishing death on my husband. She says that was a turning point. I can think of several turning points that, would have been for me, like, Giselle making fun of their tax situation, printing out t-shirts and, just being nasty and not sympathetic about that. That could have been a turning point for me, talking about my finances or talking about, what my man has in his pants, But hey, whatever. Interestingly enough, Mia, who arrived with Karen, she actually, after giving Karen all of her kudos and saying what a great person she thinks Karen is, she says, and, also, I don't know you that well, Giselle, but I can just tell that you have a beautiful heart. And everybody was like, okay. And Wendy said in her confessional, girl, you came with Karen. You're not showing any loyalty at all. I mean, you don't even know Giselle, and you're talking about how you can tell that she has a beautiful heart and a beautiful spirit. So when Mia did that, I was already feeling like, okay, you're not a real one. There's just something kind of phony about you, just right from the onset. So Wendy reveals that she had her butt done. Very interesting, because the ladies had asked her before, what all have you had done? She was like, some fillers, some nips, some tucks. But then she denied having her butt done. But like Mia said, once Mia talked about everything she had done, her, fillers and teeth, face, chin, boobs, feminine area, now Wendy wants to say, yeah, I got my butt done as well. Now, how does the butt look? What do you guys think? My thing is, if you're going to get it done, get it done. Don't be over the top like some of these girls do, where the butt just looks fake. But she got a little something back there. But I mean, to me, it could have been a tad bit bigger, just a tad bit, because the little baby butt is still not really. It's not really giving. I'm sorry, Wendy. Try again. But if she's happy with it and her husband is happy with it, then it is what it is. Sidebar. I thought it was so funny that every time the girls got into a argument, they're all riled up and they're going at it. She's like, wait, chef. The chef wants to say something. She's telling us what our next entree is. And all the girls simmer down. And, the chef she looked nervous as hell. Her voice was all shaky. She was like, now we're going to present a salad. I don't know. She just sounded like she was totally out of her element. Maybe it was because the cameras were there and the women were being, they were arguing. But I was like, Wendy, we got it. Just let the chef put the dishes on the table and let these girls get back to arguing, because that's what they're going to do anyway. So at the end of the dinner, Mia again, I don't know, something is a little bit phony about her. She's getting Giselle and Robyn's number. Should I give you guys my number? Sure. Getting their contact information. I mean, I don't know if this was about networking for her, but obviously your good girlfriend that you arrived with, she's not in a good space with these girls. So, getting their number and email and trying to communicate with them, I'm sure Karen felt away. All right, so now we're seeing Mia at her home, and Mia lets us know that she has a 3,700 square feet penthouse with views of the harbor. She's working and networking and taking a phone call, and the kids are home, and we see her husband, Gordon. She lets us know that she has 2 kids with Gordon and then 1 child from a previous marriage. Gordon does not look as old as, well, how can I say this? Gordon does not give me Ray vibes. Like, Ray looks like an old man, right? Gordon looks like, okay, yes, I'm an older gentleman, but I still take care of my body. I still work out. So yeah, we just have that age difference. Mia is definitely trying to find a work-life balance like many of us are right now. And so we see her, trying to stay career focused, but, still help out with the kids. And she didn't say this, but it's almost like Gordon may resent that a bit, because he was definitely giving her a little side eye, like, can you come up off that phone call and deal with these kids? But she lets us know that Gordon did used to take on that role, and now apparently he is more of the stay-at-home dad. He's taking that role. So then we see Candiace on set. Apparently, Candiace has been doing some acting, which I wasn't aware of, but they do show us some movies that she's been in. And she is playing a stepmom that's in a blended family. So that's right up her alley. She can really get into that role. And apparently Chris is her manager. Now, how's that going to work out? I think that Candiace is allowing Chris to kind of be her husbander, but I don't think we'll see him working that role for a long time, because, they're definitely going to butt heads. And Candiace says that she has to bring Chris down a bit because he can be, whatever with her. But I think it's more that Chris has to stay on top of Candiace and make sure, she ain't acting a fool, because, Candiace will come out on you. But I, commend her for doing her acting. She's still singing, trying to get an album out. I'm sorry, I don't call the child Kevin. Does Candiace have the best singing voice? I mean, it's okay. It can elicit a single or two. Much like Melody Holt, putting out a single because, she has the platform. But a full-on album, child, I don't know, Candiace. I mean, you don't have a powerhouse voice, but you do have a little pop hit from, time to time, put you out a little hit. That's what she's giving for me, not a whole album. No, sorry. So then we see Ashley's mom. She comes over and, she's happy to see her grandbaby, little Dean. And Dean is super cute. I mean, he does look just like Michael. Well, actually, as he's getting older, he does look like a mix of Michael and Ashley. But, her mom is happy to see the baby. There goes a flashback of her mom confronting Michael about his cheating. And, Ashley tells us, mom and um, Michael have came a long way in their relationship, and now they're actually hugging each other. Now they're, talking on the phone. So they're building a good relationship. Ashley has a nanny, and her mom was like, it's a good thing that she's not young, a young tenderoni, because we don't know what Michael would do. Basically, is what she was saying. We don't know if Michael might try to bend the nanny over, because he's good for it. Sad but true. But Ashley's like, no, sex hasn't been that comfortable, but we're making it work. I'm using all of my holes. We're getting it done. He just, toot that thing up to the side and does what he has to do. And then, I do what I have to do. I'm like, girl, you and your mom and I came a long way, because, I can have some conversations with my mom, but my positions is not one that I speak on. So, so, good for her. You know what? They never really tell us what's going on with Ashley's mom in terms of her relationship, because wasn't she in a toxic situation with Ashley's sister daddy? Like, wasn't that like a thing of them asking for money and being homeless and having to move around, and Michael was supporting them? So, maybe we'll find out more about what's going on with that. So Giselle is at home and Robyn comes over. Giselle's house. Nice in some areas. I mean, I'm being honest. Maybe it's because, I'm a realtor and I've seen, $1 million homes and a lot of beautiful properties. Her kitchen was just basic to me. The white appliances, I'm like, who still does white appliances unless they're like high end appliances like Vulcan? Those appliances gave me very basic white. Um, there was a toaster or a microwave on the counter. Most people have built-in microwaves. So it was okay. Master closet was beautiful. I love the walk-in closet. Love the comforter set. Bathroom was a little basic to me. I was surprised to hear Robyn say that the exterior of the home was horrible. I'm surprised she admitted it on camera. And for Giselle to have been building this house all this time, I did expect more, actually. I expected for, what does she call it? The east wing, the west wing, for it all to look like one home, one dwelling, not two separate dwellings. So that was a bit odd. Giselle and Robyn, they're talking about the fight and talking about Karen and how, she feels they will never be friends again. They even get Candiace on the phone and let her know what happened at the party and how, they were going at it. And, how Mia talked about all her nip tucks, this, that, and the third. They do have a conversation about Jamal. And I don't know why Giselle is pretending that this pandemic has brought on the failing of the relationship. It seems to be so much more. I mean, it's been all over the blogs that he has another relationship or had another relationship. Possibly another child came out of that. Who knows? But it's not just the distance, because they had been distant before. So for her to act like, oh, because of the pandemic and, we really couldn't see each other and he just living in my phone. Well, he had already been living in your phone. And that's a point that Karen made last season, that your man lives in your phone. So yeah, she can just scrap that one. It just wasn't working. So we see Karen at her house, and she and Ray are, kind of discussing Giselle. And she feels like she's a target. She feels like Giselle is wanting to take all of her anger and angst out on somebody due to her failed relationship with Jamal. And she decides she wants to have a party. Let's get all the girls together. We're going to have a healing party, a party with love. And, she tells Ray, hey, Let's let bygones be bygones. And, I don't know what to do with this girl. She's wounded, she's hurt. So let's show love. I'm going to invite her to this party. And, it's just going to be all love. I think Karen knew in her heart of hearts that Giselle was not coming. And because Robyn is Giselle's sidekick, she should have known that Robyn was not going to show either, which they did not. So back over at Wendy's house, her sister Ivy, her mom, and her brother comes over. And I think this is the first time her brother had been on camera, but they come over and Wendy's preparing a Nigerian cuisine, which looks absolutely delicious. And, she's talking about everything she's had done. And her mom is like, she wants to have her breasts done. She says her breasts feel like flapjacks. And then she dropped the bomb on her children that you guys will be paying. If you don't pay, I will sue you. I said, okay, mama. Mother was like, children, get your coins together. I need a boob job and you will be paying. And, she strikes me as the type of woman that she's the matriarch of the family. She's raised, good children. They're all successful. And whatever mama wants, mama will get. So I don't think they'll have any issues taking care of that for her. Wendy lets us know that she is setting up a home essential line of candles. That's her next business venture. And, she's passing around the candle. And her husband, Eddie, has a very interesting look on his face. Like, you know what? My wife does a lot. I'm just kind of here. I'm just going to go along with it. He looks like he is not interested in the candles at all. And Wendy even says, Eddie, he's not fully on board, but I will need an additional $20,000. So, he doesn't seem that happy, but he can go ahead and cut the check. So Karen comes over to Ashley's house, and, Ashley's on the phone with her doctor or whomever, OBGYN, and they're talking about the placenta and if she's going to eat the placenta. You guys get that in the comments and let me know if that's something that you would do or that you have explored or thought about, taking part in your placenta after birth. Karen says absolutely not. She will not be doing that. Ashley brings out baby Dean. And Dean is looking at Karen like, who are you and why are you here? He actually starts crying. So Karen was completely over it. And Ashley asked her, everybody wants to know, you said Giselle has a hot box and you guys went to Sing Sing. Like, what was that about? Was that just buzzwords? I mean, what happened? Girl, tell us the tea. Karen basically said there is no tea. I was just, putting something out there or whatever. Just putting 20 on 10. We didn't go to Sing Sing or anything like that. I think she was just trying to say, Giselle was hot in the pants in college, which I'm not surprised. Did you guys catch the shade when Karen was leaving and Ashley said, Dean doesn't like to see new faces. He likes his people, the people who he knows, and he's not comfortable seeing new faces. And then she said, well, Karen's face is always changing. Okay, Ashley, zing! You got her on that one. So we see Candiace at home, and she gets her invite from Karen, and the invites are really cute. They come with chocolates. I think I read something like party for life and love or love and laughter. So it was a really cute invite, and Candiace is like, not really feeling it. She feels very apprehensive about going. She says that she's still not in a great place with Karen after the fight with Monique, and I guess she doesn't quite understand why Karen doesn't see her side of things. I don't know exactly what Candiace wants from Karen. Karen's stance has always been, I'm just seeing two women fighting. How can we move on from that? And Candiace is like, no, there was a lot of emotional and physical things that happened to me, and it wasn't just two women fighting. you just saw me defending myself. We can go back and forth about what that looked like or what that was perceived like, that fight. But, you were doing a lot of hand flailing, and Monique reacted. And then you all became two women that were fighting. And that just is what it is. And that's from Karen's perspective. So we just need to move right on along. So Giselle is having lunch with her girls at the house. They're talking about Grace getting her permit, and isn't Grace so pretty? But all of her girls, all three of them, they are beautiful young women. Grace is getting her permit. Apparently she failed the test a couple times, but they're having that conversation. And Giselle takes this time to talk to her girls about relationship issues, why she did that. When I tell you those girls got her all the way together, she told them to stay away from athletes and stay away from rappers. And they were like, we should be giving you the advice. You pick horrible men. They even included their daddy. Like, they were like, your choice in men are terrible. They even go on to tell her that we will not be taking your advice. And while there was a little humor in that, those girls were serious. Giselle, I think the relationship that her and Jamal had, them getting back together, those girls were not here for it at all. Which, that's something to be said when they don't even want to see their own biological father back with their mother, because they know that, it just wouldn't work out. And it did not. And Giselle didn't even have a leg to stand on. She couldn't even, back it up or reason, why she went back to their dad. And so, yeah, those girls, they see everything, they know what's going on. They're not little kids anymore. So it would be in her best interest to, start to make better relationship choices because, her girls are watching. Now we get to the party, at Karen's party. Okay, so first, who do we have show up? Mia and Gordon arrive first, and this is Ray's first time meeting Gordon. So, they exchange pleasantries, and, Mia looks great. She's an attractive woman. Then we have Wendy and her husband. They arrive. Mia and Wendy, they're not going to see for each other. They are not going to be good girlfriends. They just, we'll get to that in a minute. And then Ashley arrives without Michael. She said Michael's at home watching the kids. I'm sure it would have been easy enough for Ashley to hire a nanny. Michael probably just was not interested in going. Sidebar, well, not really sidebar, but Karen had said to Ashley that Michael is, welcome in their home. I don't remember a time where he was not welcome in their home. I guess she's just saying with everything that's happened, all the drama, Michael is welcome to come. But he did not come. Ashley came by herself, and that's what that was. Lastly, Candiace and Chris showed up. Even at the door, Candiace looked very apprehensive about going to the party, and Chris is like, babe, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. So, they arrive, and Karen hugs Ashley, and, it's a little second longer than usual. So, there's still some hurt feelings there, some tension, some resentment, but also, there's, some love there. You could tell, these two women, they love each other. Candiace looks at Karen as, and she might not say it, it's not just like an auntie, but like my second mom. And so, that comes through. Karen says, this is not the time or place for us to get into our mess, but let's have coffee next week and we'll discuss it. All right, so great. So then they get into the women. They get into the discussion about the fight at Wendy's house, and Mia suddenly has flip-flopped and says that, she thinks Giselle is a terrible person. Apparently, Karen went on to tell Mia what Giselle said about Ray being 6 feet under before her looks change. And Mia's like, oh my God, like, what kind of person is she? Like, where did she come from? Who raised her? You know? And Wendy's like, hold on. Because you said that you thought she was a beautiful person, had a beautiful heart, and now you flip-flopping. So we see Wendy and Mia get into it. You know, Mia start with all that hand flailing, and Ashley had to tell her, hold on now. In this group, we don't do a bunch of hand flailing. And Wendy's like, you need to get your hand out my face. And Mia was like, well, it's in your face, so what are you going to do? Oh my God, these women are so dramatic. And Wendy's like, oh my God, how rude, how rude. So that's what you was going to do? You was just going to say, how rude, how rude. Wendy, you ain't going to do nothing, child. So, you know, y'all just do y'all little back and forth or whatever. Like I said, Giselle didn't show up. She threw the invite in the trash. And, of course, Robyn didn't show up either. Juan was like, I'm not going to that anyway. I don't know. I'm not interested. I'm not going. So they weren't there. The couples get together, you know, after eating. They play a cute little game of who knows who best in the relationship. And the question was, if you had to date anybody in this circle of friends, for the men, if you had to choose a woman from this group of friends, who would you choose? And, you know, everybody choose who they chose. The most interesting for me was when Ray said that he would choose Katie. I'm like, Katie? First of all, Katie ain't got no body to speak of, and Katie do not look better than the Grand Dame. So how you going to say Katie? Maybe he was just trying to, you know, be lighthearted and, you know, make a little joke, whatever. And of course, Wendy and her husband, they're like, no one. They each said no one. And I think that was plain. I think Wendy nudged her husband, was like, listen, you need to put nobody on that card. I will say it and you will say it. Because you're not about to embarrass me. No, you don't want nobody else in this group but me. Let's make that clear. Okay? I think Mia actually picked up on that too, because she was like, you know, Wendy seems very controlling with her man, and, you know, Eddie doesn't really have a mind of his own. Wendy just controls him. So as they begin to wrap the party up, they all start talking about, you know, how did you meet your spouse? And Mia says she met her man at the strip club and she was the bartender. Well, the girls did not believe it. Candiace said in her confessional, girl, if you met your man as the bartender versus being the stripper, then I'm a white man. So there was all types of shade being thrown, because apparently these girls were saying, no ma'am, you was a nobody's bartender, you was on that pole. Party was pretty good, very interesting. More to come in this season, you guys. Drop down and leave your comment. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to my channel. A lot more to come, you guys, and we will definitely chat again soon. Bye.